Today we're watching episode 4 of Battlestar Galactica, and honestly, I think maybe it's the miniseries part, but it's throwing me off that we're only on episode 4. That seems absolutely bonkers to me. But yeah, episode 4, and this episode is called Act of Contrition, which I think is an excellent title for an episode of Battlestar Galactica because I don't know what this title is referring to. Maybe it's referring to a new incident that everyone is feeling contrite over. But there's been so many things that I think waves of regret, guilt, uncertainty over so many hard choices that have been made. And, you know, I'm curious who or what situation this episode will center around. But I know it's going to be good. I just know this one is going to be good. And I don't know if it centers around the president, if it centers around Commander Adama. Maybe it's some of the crew. You know, I know that we've had it revealed. I mean, the miniseries spent a lot of time on President or Commander Adama's son, who was killed. And of course, Apollo blamed Commander Adama. But it turns out Starbuck had a little more to do with it than we first let on. I would be thrilled if this episode centered around Starbuck. Of all the characters, I have actually found it a little bit difficult to connect with her. And I really want to because I love Katie Sackhoff and I love the character of Starbuck, but I don't feel like connected to her in part because she has that like hard exterior. And so I would love to see just some more opportunities for her to act and to be vulnerable and maybe get a little peek inside her mind. But whatever direction this episode goes, I'm really excited to dive into Act of Contrition. So let's experience Battlestar Galactica episode 4, Act of Contrition, for the very first time. Oh, right in the midst of some danger and excitement for Starbuck.
You are so unprepared.
Shut up.
Red paint incoming.
1000th landing. Big deal. Congrats.
You're not ready yet?
Oh, no.
Commander ever tell you what happened on his 1000th landing?
I don't remember telling you about what I did.
Oh, yeah, whatever. The LSO hears over the wireless this big, loud, long, obnoxious. No.
And so are they. That's why they love the story, Commander. Why is it suddenly feeling, no. This would ruin his 1000th landing experience.
Personally.
Did he die after 1,000 landings? That sucks. Wow. Are we getting flashbacks? I don't know how I feel about these images of like what's coming up in the episode. On one hand, like, oh, it's kind of cool, it gets you like engaged. On the other hand, maybe I didn't want to know there was flashbacks until there was flashbacks.
Kills 13 pilots, slams 7 more in sickbay.
13 pilots? I mean, 20 injured in total, 7 injured? Jeez.
Never had a death on my hangar deck.
I'm sorry.
Services will commence at 1100 hours on the forward hangar deck, midships hangar.
They're emphasizing all the empty seats.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Are you Lieutenant Thrace?
Oh, their first meeting.
Give me your eyes. I know this has been a hard day.
It's a hard life at this point, please. Everyone does look younger effectively. It might just be that it's in proper daylight, which we've never seen before.
From which the lords of Cobalt brought them to us.
The burdens of this life.
I like how their voices overlaid for the transition. Aww. I imagine they're not shooting inside the Galactica. The other key difference is there's no grieving mothers. There should be. It's awful. Oh, man.
I have to start training new pilots.
I don't know if I'm the right person for this.
This is about Zach. It's not your fault. You had nothing to do with what happened. I need new pilots, and I want you to train them.
She'll probably be even extra hard on them because of what
Just give
happened.
him the attention and the professionalism that you gave my son.
Maybe not all the attention you gave Zach, but okay, what is this? We keep cutting this. Is this in the future, the past, the present? It's obviously not the present. I don't know what this is. I can't wait to get to it though. Obviously, it's going to be the end of the episode, the climax. Oh, man, this is a good game. I can tell. Different kind of game, also good, I guess.
So, Gata, how are you and the doc here doing on your silent detector?
I don't want any special treatment. Not from my father, not from you.
If there were such a program, it would be classified and I wouldn't be able to talk about it.
I'm not going to send you to Vipers if I don't think you've got the chops.
Restaurant.
Seems so human.
I don't get it. How does military coded signal end up coming from in here?
Ooh, secret room. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. Another show I will never be able to react to, ladies and gentlemen. Who's in the shelter? Obviously, it's another Cylon. Or it's just a shelter. Empty.
Food. Medical supplies.
Just been set to go off if there was an attack.
Some poor slob goes through all the trouble building a fallout shelter, stocks it.
But they're not there.
Gah!
She said, "Gah." That was just short of saying nom 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 nom. A little bit of joy in the midst of a horrible episode. Of course, it's not really joy, is it? Because this whole thing is a Cylon setup for Hilo. Is he ever going to get out of this? Like they own him.
All we can do now is try and shrink the tumor with gamma treatments and follow that up with IV CIS Deluxe.
I would like to explore alternate treatment.
You're one of those.
What if it works?
I'll put out a med request to the civilian fleet.
Yeah, what's Kamala?
This is the best that you could come up with.
Diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, right.
You are joining the Colonial Fleet, boys and girls, not some after-school club.
We don't have any flight simulators on board, so we're putting you in the cockpit.
Learn quick, guppies.
Anyone not paying attention is liable to end up as a puddle of something to be hosed out of the cockpit.
And Tyrell would not enjoy that.
She's laying it on a little thick.
Oh, you're gonna die.
From now on, your name is Hot Dog, and when God speaks Hot Dog, you listen.
Maybe if you learned it at the academy, you wouldn't have washed out.
Wow. How could you not like her?
Worse than awful.
This was only our first day.
It's your last. It'd be criminal to let any of you near a Viper again.
Yeah, she's gonna be more harsh than she probably should be because of what happened with Zach. I mean, at least they have some experience. What are you gonna do next? Take people who've never flown before? They don't stand a chance.
You can't wash them out in their first day.
I just did.
The next group has never even been in a cockpit.
I will not, repeat not, pass another student who isn't ready.
So that's what this is about.
Of course.
Careful.
No, he needs to tell you like it is. This conflict has to happen. Wow. This show does tension better than most shows.
I think she's letting her personal feelings cloud her judgment.
And what are those feelings? We've talked about Zach.
You did?
And we've talked about a lot of things. She's a professional. She'll do her job.
I think she's trying to work out her guilt over what she did for Zach.
What did she do for Zach?
Yeah.
It's not my place to say.
He's not going to take this well.
You have to ask her.
I mean, I don't know how to imagine how Commander Adama is going to respond. He'll have one response as a father, one as a commander, and both are going to be difficult.
By the skin of your teeth, but you passed. Zach.
What did you do for him?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Lee.
I'm asking you.
Don't play that game, Starbuck.
I love you like a daughter. I don't deserve that.
Which is why it's so hard for her to tell you.
I should have flunked him, but I didn't. And it killed him.
Surprise about you.
We were going to,
It's fine.
You did it because you were engaged.
Once they got involved, she shouldn't have been doing the test.
Because I made a mistake. I was so in love with him, and...
Reinstate the trainees and walk out of this cabin while you still can.
That's gonna hurt so bad, but Like, yeah. Wow, that was a hard one. I'm beginning to wonder if we'll even get context for that moment.
We're gonna try this again. Those of you who can be trained to safely fly the Viper Mark II will pass.
I love that they're so enthusiastic.
Not bad, hot dog. But you left your leader behind. Looks like you're having a bad day, hot dog. You never want to be out here alone.
Is she speaking from experience, or is this foreshadowing?
She actually sounds like a real instructor for a change.
Holy crap, we've got incoming.
Yo, get some real pilots out there.
Nuggets, punch it for home.
Thank you, yes. Please get them out of the sky. What is she doing?
Starbuck's gonna take
Jinx.
on all 8.
Hot dog, what are you doing? You are not ready for this, my man.
Said never to leave your leader. And I also said never disobey an order.
She'll make it.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, obviously he has to root for her, but there's, you know, he still cares. He still cares.
Doug, you did good. You're gonna be okay, I promise you.
Are you, though?
He's right on my tail, but I got it covered, okay?
Uh-oh.
No ID or visual on Starbuck.
Oh! And this is what, ladies and gentlemen, the context. Is she just going to be stranded on this planet? What is going on? What's going to happen to Starbuck? Why is it to be continued? Why are they doing me like this? This was the episode I've been waiting for. It was so good.
I think we should blah 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 bleep blah.
Out the window! Oh, this episode was everything I was hoping for. It surpassed my expectations. It was heavy. I mean, right away, they stuck true with our celebratory opening scene. Immediately turned to tragedy as 13 pilots. I mean, they've lost pilots every time they've gone out into space, but to lose 13 over old equipment just kind of rotting. And yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes perfect sense on a ship that was going to become a museum the day the world ended. That being kind of the inciting incident that causes us to explore Starbuck and the parallels between what happened then and what's happening now. It could not have been done any better. It was absolutely perfect. It hit all the emotional check boxes and even more. It hit moments that I wasn't even expecting or needing. Yeah, I mean, immediately I'm going right to the end with that scene with Commander Adama when he said, "Walk out of this cabin while you still can." In my opinion, that was the most professional way he could have handled that situation. The ice, the coldness, learning and realizing not only that your son died in a way that you didn't know, that you weren't aware of, but the fact that it happened from someone that you see as a daughter. It's the learning that your son didn't have to die, added to the betrayal that he must feel, at least in some regards. We got a little glimpse. I know that, of course, he's still rooting for and still cares about Starbuck, and of course he does. But that doesn't mean that he's not angry or instantly can forgive her. I hope that he eventually is able to forgive her, and I hope just as much that it's a journey, that this is an ongoing storyline, that it's not just, and it's Battlestar Galactica, so there's no part of me that actually believes it'll just be a wink and a nod and everything's fine forever between them. I expect this to be a new element, a new dynamic to the relationship that is going to be incredibly compelling and interesting and difficult to watch. The Cylons showing up. I didn't actually expect them to show up. And yeah, ending this episode with Starbuck spiraling towards the planet. Is she going to be stranded on an alien planet? What's down there? I want to know. I'm sure we'll explore these things next week on Battlestar Galactica. It was fun getting to know a few of the new pilot recruits. And yeah, it was so perfect to have her just want to wash them out, to not let them not even give them a chance. And I'm glad that moment with Commander Adama shook her to the point where she was a different instructor. Once again, we got the smallest of like one scene. Like that's how it goes. One scene with Boomer and Hilo on Caprica. It's fine and dandy. I sure hope they don't keep stringing that along forever. I hope next week is the week we get more of them on that scene. I want that storyline to progress. I hope that's not strung out until the finale. That is certainly a possibility. It absolutely could go down that way. But this show this show delivered exactly what I wanted from this one. I'm hoping next week they deliver that. Or at least sometime soon, the next 2 or 3 episodes. Because, come on. At any rate, that's a potential happy moment in the future where Hilo maybe actually gets to somehow reunite on Battlestar Galactica. I don't know how, because he's firmly surrounded by Cylons and he doesn't know it. But now he's got food and medical supplies. Like, that's really encouraging. A nice little moment. Balanced by the fact that number 6 is staring at them like, ooh, I'm here too. They're being observed every step of the way, which is engaging and interesting. I just loved this episode, and that is what I have to say. Please let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you, and yeah, what did you think of this episode? That's what really matters, isn't it? Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't, be sure to check out my other episodes of Battlestar Galactica, and yeah, I'll see you then. Thanks to my patrons. Give this video a like, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. Bye.